Hello, Property Bants and Rants, and I'm here this week with the undescribable, the one and only, the ever young, the Peter Pan of the property industry, Matt Giggs. He's here with me today. I'm sure lots of you know. Well, it's true, isn't it? You've got to take a compliment while you can.
Oh, yeah.
Matt is here to me today. Thank you for joining me, Matt. I'm been looking forward to this chat today. So I wanted to find out more about you, Matt. Okay, so tell me, for the people that don't know you, what are you doing at the moment? What's the name of your agency? What was your route to that agency? How did you get there?
Yeah, so I started estate agency in 1996 as a trainee, sticking photographs on details.
He was 2 years old. He was 2 years old at that time.
2 years old. That's absolutely. So 28 years ago. I've got a position where I now work within my own group, which I started 11 years ago, which was through the first business, which was Giggs & Co., developed into training agents, mentoring agents, and then continued to just build businesses around me with business partners, estate agents basically, who wanted to build a business rather than be self-employed as such or work in the corporate. It's kind of like the middle ground as such. So that's kind of where I've got to.
So you've got a business model now where agents are working for you on a self-employed basis. Is that what it is? Or?
So they're business partners. It's limited company business partners.
Right,
so there's a handful of guys that I've known, worked with, who have just gone from coming out of independent estate agencies, corporate estate agencies with vast experience, but wanted to take the leap, but they were used to having teams around them. And going from that to just going out on their own was a big jump. So we've kind of made it a slightly softer landing, but given them the tools, the team, all of the experience that we've got from growing businesses, so they can take that into their marketplace around sort of Cambridgeshire and Bedfordshire.
So do you look after that then, or do they employ people? Do you guys look after that?
So they basically are the main director. I say, the main director. They're the director in their area, if you like, with a team of people around them, and we have centralised support. So, most of the guys have got 4 or 5 people around them in their teams, and that includes property professionals, admin, that kind of stuff. So it's like a bit of a hybrid as to the traditional estate agency in the corporate sense and the self-employed agents at the moment.
Yeah,
and
that's quite popular, isn't it? That sort of concept where people branch out by themselves is getting quite popular.
Yeah, I mean, self-employed isn't new. I think what's helped is big umbrella organisations like EXP, Keller Williams, and those guys have allowed people to kind of take that leap without all of the overheads. But obviously there's a leap there for them to go it alone as such with the support that they get. So we're kind of slightly different, like I say, kind of in between the two models really. But that's something that is basically, Tony, because I'd done that journey myself by starting Giggs & Co., building up a business and then scaling it. And we're just trying to help other people to do the same thing.
Okay, all right, good. So tell me, I want to know what the 2 biggest issues for sales industry are at the moment. What's the 2 biggest problems they've got? And then in a second, I'm going to get you to give your solution, the Matt Giggs solution to those problems. So first of all, what's the 2 biggest problems and how do you solve them in the businesses that you're linked with?
Well, there's a whole heap of challenges right now. But if you are in an organisation like ourselves, in a people organisation, then it's people attracting and recruiting, developing and retaining the right people. So how do you get the right people to your organisation, and then how do you hire them, keep them, develop them towards where they want to go? So I think it's all about the recruitment area, if I'm honest with you. So that's one of my main answers. And
how do you deal with that? How do you attract people, and how do you make sure that you retain the people?
Well, I think, I was talking to an agent the other day who said that it's one of their challenges. And when you actually look around their social channels and all of their external communications, you can't really judge or understand their culture and what they are all about and how they work and how they operate. There's not enough emphasis on what their values are, their vision, all of the things that should attract the right people towards you. So I think businesses who are looking to recruit the right people, the best people in their market, whether they're existing estate agents or not, we all know estate agencies are all to do with people's skills, people's strengths. And if you want to bring those people in, they've got to be attracted. They've got to be peering in and seeing it as is that the kind of place where I could fit? Is that where I could work? So are people in the team promoting the organization in a way that's going to attract those people? Are there videos? Are there campaigns going out there to try and find what you'd consider to be your ideal team player? A little bit like you would do if you were opening your estate agency today. Are you just trying to take the whole market and look general, or are you actually going to go after a particular part of the market and build your ideal customer? And I think it all then relies on how you attract them through your content, through your social channels, through the way you interact on evaluation, the way you interact on a viewing. It should all speak to the people about who you are and how you operate.
So really, I know the answer to this question, but values are so crucial, aren't they, to a business? They're crucial to you as a human being, right? But those values need to be just blend into your business. And what you're saying is make your values clear. Whatever your values are, just launch them. Like, let people know about what your values are. And then that's going to attract the right people. Because Matt, as your business, obviously you're looking for value-based employees that really what they want is they believe in what you're doing.
It's really interesting. Here you go. One of my addictions in my earlier years as an estate agent was market share. And we were market leaders by a considerable distance. And we talked about the market. We were this, we were that. So we ended up attracting people who wanted to be on high sales volume in businesses. And they wanted to work in a place where there was high commission and so on and so forth. But actually, they weren't my core values. My core values is about delivering great service, great experience, great results for the customer, the outcome that they need. So we've had to kind of almost like go in reverse. About 3 years ago in COVID, we reversed our culture and went back into first gear with core values and actually established our core values, and then built and starting to build that high performance team around those core values. So we know that, Google reviews, testimonials, how people feel when they've left the experience, it's more aligned to what we believe in. And the results are important, right? We need to get paid. We need to earn money. We need to leverage. We need to do all of those things. But I've always believed that if you do those fundamentals really well, the rest will look after itself. And I think sometimes you can lose your way along running a business, and you can get drawn into the easier decisions, like, here's an estate agent, we need an estate agent, let's bring them in. But actually, are they the right person with the right values? Yes or no? And that's something that we can do now with a values-based system, which my lady, who's the MD of the group, Gemma, superstar, she talks people through their core values and our core values, and understands if there's an alignment before they even join.
So you do that in the interview process. If
they get past the initial screening, i.e., what do they need? Who do we need? Is there an alignment there? Are they prepared for the graft? Because I think a lot of people look at a estate agency and think, well, it's quite a simple job. You open a few doors, you show people a house, you get an offer, you go to the seller. And I think, like a lot of these big models who are doing it online, they've realized there's a lot more to it. There's a whole heap of things that you need to be able to do to reassure customers along the way, which means you need people that are great at communication. They believe in helping people, and they want to deliver great service. So
there's been loads of research, Matt, and they look at successful businesses, and by far the most successful type of environment is what you're saying. If you've got a value-based system where people genuinely hear for the clients, but they're going to be there for themselves, they're going to be there for their colleagues. It's that type of collaborative approach where you want to help people, and then those businesses, the money comes. You don't, you can't. There's an old saying, when you start a fire, you can't just say fire, like, just give me fire. You got to look after it. You got to build a fire first. And I find it really hard to build a fire. So it's actually, you got to put effort into it, build it, and the good bits will come. So 100%, Matt, I truly believe what you said is spot on. Okay. Let me ask you a quick question. It might be your colleagues should ask this, but is there a killer question you ask on interviews? Is there something you think, that's what I asked?
I think the thing that you can get from people is, once they feel comfortable enough to understand that it's as important as they like us and feel that we're the right place for them, as it is for us to see that they're the right person for us, for our organisation. And, we do quiz beliefs. We look about how they operate in their existing roles and what are the things that they really love about what they do and the things that they don't enjoy quite so much. And when you get that picture painted, so for example, the alarm bells or the red flags would be around someone who blames their existing employer. You know, they would be quite vocal about how crap their employer is, but they're the ones who went there. They're the ones that joined that place. They've got the choice to leave, right? So, you know, we can tell them a particular mindset around their kind of answers. So
what you're looking for is accountability, isn't it, Matt? You're looking for people to take responsibility.
Yeah, totally. We want people to understand that we're a learning organisation. So we're learning every day. I'm learning every day. You know, I'll probably come off of this call and think, I should have said this or I should have said that. And that was good. That wasn't so good. But, you know, we want people to come in with an open mind. So if you're hearing things in the interview process, which are like, oh, well, we never used, you know, they're trying to teach us to do this and we don't do it that way. That's not how we've done it. You know, as an obvious, probably a bit of an obvious analogy as such, that they're the things to look out for. First things first is people will always come to an interview as their best self. And what you're trying to do is to get their real self across, because if you can explain to people why it's important that they come to an organisation and actually live who they are, what are the benefits of doing that rather than working somewhere where they don't believe in it? It's a huge thing around mental health. It's a huge thing around well-being. And it's also the thing that can help somebody to actually accelerate their career rather than decelerate the moment they join. As soon as their real self kind of appears, if you like. So a lot more work needs to be done before and during the interview process.
I think I agree with you 100%. I mean, we do quite a few stages in our interview process, but the final stage is almost to tell them everything. Don't get me wrong, like you, Matt, I'm sure that you are very proud of your business, and I'm sure that you feel that there's still things to improve.
Masses.
What we tell them, we tell them the things that we're proud of, but they may not see that as that. So, for example, as us, so the listeners know, but I used to be an estate agent. I'm a conveyancer, so we're always very open with our conveyancers. Say, look, you know, we're here to get a transaction through. You know, it's not just about finding problems. So we're very open about that, because if someone's going to come, they're not going to be happy. It's actually destroying your business, and it's destroying your client's service and their journey, to be honest with you. So, Matt, I agree with you 100%. We're on the same lines there. But let me ask you another question now. So you're talking about business, talking about employing people. What's the industry suffering from? You know, like just the industry itself. What's the issue? Is it like the media is destroying the market? What is it? Is prices unrealistic? What's the problem generally for sales, you think?
The industry suffers from its own value. So in other words, I think, you know, you've probably heard a lot of people talk about race to the bottom and so on and so forth. It's how much value do people genuinely feel they deliver? Because if you look across the marketplace at the moment, the fees are so dreadfully low. I mean, in all due respect, you're not charging anyone until completion. So most of the time, people are working for free. And you think about how much work actually goes into that process. So, you know, I think self-belief in terms of value, what do you really genuinely do? We need to educate customers in the industry, and we need to give an even better experience and service collectively. So up and down chains. I know one of the things that frustrates a lot of people in after sales, certainly in the area that you guys work in, is how to, you could probably come across completely different experiences with estate agents that you come to. Some are really diligent and professional in the way they handle the after sale, and some couldn't give two hoots. And you know, if we're going to improve the industry, we need to raise the bar. We need to raise the standards, and that means we need to raise our fees, and we need to take things up. Whether that means it's regulatory, if it's qualificational, but we need to raise the bar. We need to raise the standards together. And as an industry, accept that we've all got that responsibility, not just one or two.
Exactly. So, Matt, really what you're saying is, let's value ourselves. Let's give proper solutions to people, deliver solutions that actually will drive them to get to completion. And the point you made about post offer is really, really good, right? Because when they looked at the property ombudsman, the highest percentage of complaints was not to do with the offer, it was to do with the work after the offer. Yeah. You know, it's to do with all that other stuff afterwards, which as an agent, sometimes, when I started in property, that wasn't really seen as part of our job at all as an agent. But actually now it's so crucial. So what you say is right. So value yourself, charge the right amount of money, because as you say, I think there is a bit of a race to the bottom and people are not charging enough. No, because how can you provide an amazing service if you can't even afford to have the backup structure in place?
It comes back down, Tony, if you think about it, do we want to attract better people to our industry? So if you're paying £15,000 to £20,000 a year on average, let's say, to someone to work 5 or 5.5 days a week, you are going to be taking on either very, very new people to the industry or people that haven't got the skill set or the mindset to come in and deliver high service, high value performance, because that's what we need. If we're going to be working in a stressful environment, a stressful transaction, in an area of someone's life where they genuinely need someone to support them, hold their hands, reassurance, answers to questions, knowledge, all of those things come at an investment. And I think we as an industry need to look at having and hiring and attracting real talent who don't even consider estate agency as a career because they see it as low base salaries, low commission. And I agree, one of the best things about the self-employed ones, it launches people into a place where they can directly control their own earnings and they can retain a larger slice of the fees. But at the end of the day, that's got to be something that attracts people. The financials, the enjoyment, the reason why you should do it, all of those things should start to get better and better in this industry. So we attract really great people to it. And they're not going to other professions. I mean, why should recruiters on average be earning more than estate agents? You know, at the end of the day, it's a very similar skill set there around matching people to roles or people to property and how you interact and converse. We should be paying more money to our estate agents in this country. And the only way you're going to do it is by us raising the bar, raising the standards, raising the fees, and giving people out there a reason to go, do you know what? I'm happy to pay you 1.5%, you know, because at the end of the transaction, if I get that outcome, you're worth every penny. And then it's up to us to go and deliver.
Exactly. I agree. Now I'm going to ask you, but I'm going to try and save this for part B, Max. I know you're heavily into your mindset and things like that. So I'm going to say that. Yeah. So I'm going to go to another question before I go on to that. Okay. So my question is, what have you got that costs less than £100 that really you can't live without? And everyone now should be just stop watching this, go out and just get this fee. What is it you got, Matt, that everyone should have and it costs less than £100?
Do you know what? The only thing I can think about offhand straight away. Well, look, I've got a foam roller, which is really good. So if you want to keep fit, roll out every day. That's a really good tip.
Okay, yeah.
But genuinely, it's my GiggsGroup.
And it's a good, great colour. Great colour as well.
It's a great colour. It's a great colour. See, anyway, I've got a GiggsGroup water bottle. GiggsGroup water bottle. Go out and get one. It's the best bit of merch you could ever get. But no, seriously, drinking more water is one of the best things that I've ever done. Having a branded water bottle, guys, let's be honest, doesn't do you any harm wherever you sit, does it? If everyone gets to see your brand and you're drinking water.
Where can someone get that, Matt? If someone want it, is it available for sale? Where do they get gigs?
Tell them to message me. I'm sure we'll fix them up. Yeah.
Okay, well done.
Brilliant.
Well done, Matt. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining me. I'm sure people found that. I found that inspiring, so I'm sure people found it inspiring. So thank you very much, Mr. Peter Pan, Matt Giggs. Thank you very much.